Good morning or afternoon or evening, whatever time of the day it is that you guys are getting a chance to take a look at this. Welcome to the math portion of online at Linton Hall School. We're going to be working on long division and word problems. That's where we kind of left off at. I know that I give you guys a packet to work on for last week, and you should have actually gone through that packet. And what I want to do is, with that packet, I just want to go over a couple of things. If you don't have that packet, I'll, for 1 second, this way you guys can go ahead and pick that up, and we'll take a look at it. If you look at page, I think it is 125. Look at page 125 on that packet, and basically we're just going to kind of go over what the answers were. If you didn't get the Snell at the bottom, then your answers weren't exactly right. And if you have any issues that you didn't, as the reason why you didn't get that, then again, you guys know my email. Take a look right across there. You know my email. Just email me if you have any questions about any of the 1 through 12 problems that you might have had an issue with and not getting the right answer on that. But the Snell is actually the right answer for the bottom. So if you did that right, then you should have come up with the Snell. There were no remainders on that whatsoever. That's what that looked like. It was page 100, and holding that wrong there. That's 125. Now, if we flip over to 126, then we're going to start getting into some word problems. And remember, in the past, word problems seem to throw people off. But the biggest thing about word problems, what do we say is the biggest thing? We need to know what they're asking for. What is the very last thing that they're asking for? They always give us some stuff that is information that we don't really need. But then again, remember, what is it that they're asking for? So let's go over page 126. 126, where it says solve and show your work. Show your work. You guys know who I'm talking to there. Show your work. Renee bakes 63 snacks. She puts them equally into 3 jars. How many snacks are there in each jar? How many snacks are in each jar? This is a basic division problem. Basic division problem where we know that Renee had how many snacks to start with? She had 63 snacks to start with. Then she put them into 3 jars. Still trying to do that left-handed writing there. It just kind of works out best for this type of situation. She had 63 snacks. She had 3 jars. So how many snacks, that's what they asked for, how many snacks are there in each jar? So basically what this comes down to is we must do what? How many are going to be in each jar? So we must do what? We must divide. So we're going to divide 63 by 3. And again, if you guys remember long division, we look in, what was it? Dad, mom, sister, brother, rover. Dad does what? Dad divides. Mom does what? Multiplies. Sister does what? She subtracts. Brother does what? He brings down. And then rover does what? Rover repeats. So what we're doing here is we've got dad dividing. 3 goes into 6 how many times? 3 goes into 6 2 times. So again, we get to the mom phase of it. And mom does what? She multiplies. Mom multiplies. 2 times 3 equals 6. And then we're going to do what? I know that's what we talked about before. We bring that 0 in. Why do we bring in the 0? We bring the 0 in because we're talking about the 10 spot. We're talking about the 10 spot, so we bring the 0 in. And now we have subtract. Sister subtracts. That's going to be 3. And how many times does 3 go into 3? 3 goes into 3 1 time. So the answer is 21. The answer is 21. So again, you have dad, mom, sister, brother, and rover. Brother, rover. Multiply or divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. And again, we repeated right here. That was that repeating step right there. So we wind up with 21. Wind up with 21 on that word problem there. Now on 14, it's basically the same thing. Calvin arranges 80 chairs and has 8 equal rows. How many chairs are there in each row? Calvin has what? He's got 80 chairs. He's got 80 chairs. How many rows does he have? He has 8 rows. So he has 8 rows, 80 chairs. So what do we need to do? We need to divide 80 by 8. And again, if you do your long division, this is also one of those bills too that something kind of sticks out there. That 8 and 80 stick out. So it's basically one of those things where we've got 8. Let me try this since I'm getting closer to this side here. We got 8, 80. Dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. Rover does what? He repeats. We've got 80. How many times does 8 go into 8? 8 goes in 1 time. That's dad dividing it. Mom multiplying. 1 times 8 equals 8. What do? We bring the 0 down, not because it's the 0 right here, but we bring the 0 down because we're dealing with the 10 spot, the tens place, and the tens place. We want to make sure we understand that. That's the tens place. And sister does what? Sister subtracts from just like over there. And we've got 0 and 0. So how many times does 8 go in there? 8 doesn't go in there at all. So that's where, that no remainder. So pretty simple. And the reason why I'm kind of talking word problems here is because of the fact that word problems they're going to be on the test. And we're going to test this Thursday. I think we'll be ready. And if we're not ready, just you guys shoot me an email. If everybody seems like they're not really getting that, then we can always push that test to Friday. But the game plan right now is doing Chapter 8 test on Thursday. Now, if we go to the next page, 127. 127, you should have got dogs can't read. Dogs can't read. Dogs can't read because Rover repeats. Repeats is basically one of those things. That's what they kind of do. They repeat what they're doing, but they can't read. That should have been the answer on page 127. Dogs can't read. So, if again, you did not get dogs can't read and you had an issue with that, definitely send me an email. Again, there were no remainders whatsoever on page 127. So that's just something where you guys, if you got remainders and you said, well, hey, I got this and a remainder, no, there should have been no remainders at all on that page. Let's flip over to page 128. 128, and that's what we're going to do, because that other part there were, thinking and everything. It's like that's a brain teaser type of thing. You guys can also email me the answers that you got to that. If you did that section of it and you understood it, just go ahead and shoot me an email on that. But let's go to 13. 13, I kind of feel like I'm in a classroom because I don't quite know what happened to my dry erase, but we had an issue with that a little bit earlier, but I'll jump right back in once I get the dry erase, and then we'll go from there. We're going to go ahead and erase those problems right there. We're going to leave Dad, Mom, Sister, Brother, and Rover up there because we might need that just a little bit later on. But problem 13 on page 128. Problem 13 on page 128, in case you guys don't know where I'm at there, that's where we're at. Problem 13, page 128. It says, the grocer sells 72 plums in 3 days. He sells the same number of plums each day. How many plums does the grocer sell in a day? Doesn't say in all, in a day. So how many does he sell in a day? What does that tell us? It tells us that we're going to divide, because it tells us that the grocer has 72 plums in 3 days. He sells 72 plums in 3 days. So, the question is what? How many plums does the grocer sell on each day? So, we must do what? We must divide. We divide 72 by 3. And if you do the long division, 3, draw a little house there, 72. Make sure I'm out of the way and I'm not blocking that. This is where, again, the left-handedness comes in handy there. We're going to do Dad. Dad does what? Divides. How many times does 3 go into 7? 3 goes into 7 2 times. 2 times. And mom does what? Mom multiplies. So we've got 2 times 3. Bring that down. That's going to equal what? It's going to give us 6. And I almost made a mistake. Hannah, what's imperative that we do? It is imperative that we make sure we're lining stuff up. At 72 is kind of close there. So just kind of make sure you're a little separate there. We'll just do that now so nobody's confused about what's really happening. And that's 72 right there. So go back to mom. Mom multiplied 2 times 3, 6. Must bring what? I think I heard it through the camera there. The 0 down. Must bring the 0 down. Exactly. We bring the 0 down. And sister does what? Sister subtracts. 7 minus 6 is 1. 0 minus 2 is 2. So now the 3 goes into 12. Rover repeats. Bring down the 2. Rover repeats. We're repeating the steps again. How many times does 3 go into 1? It doesn't. So how many times does 3 go into 12? 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times. We're back. Long division with 3 digits. Now, if we look up here, I had a number that I wanted to go to, and we kind of talked about this earlier. Some of you guys might get this, might not, but this is the thing with 3 digits. If we take the number 582, 582 right there, and we divided it by, oh, let's pick a number. Just go ahead and shout it at the screen. I know somebody said 4, right? So we divide it by 4. So we're going to take 582 and we're going to divide it by 4. This is where the dad, mom, sister, brother comes in, because we're going to definitely have to do some repeating there. So we got 582 divided by 4. What's the first thing that we do? We do dad. Dad does what? Divides. 4 goes into 5 how many times? Yes, that's correct. It goes in 1 time. Then we multiply. Mom multiplies. And then 4 times 1 is what? It is 4. Now, what did we do in the last step when we had 2 digits? We brought that 0 down. We brought the 0 down because of we were in the 10 spot. We were dealing with the 10s. Now we're dealing with the hundreds. So what do you think we do now? I think somebody probably got it. Somebody's raising their hand. Olivia, yes, what do we do? Yes, Olivia, that is right. We actually bring down the 2 zeros. Bring down 2 zeros because we're dealing with the hundreds. Dealing with the hundreds. So when you do that, we're now on to sister. Sister does what? Sister subtracts. Sister subtracts. So we subtract 400 from 582. And if we do our subtracting right, that's going to be 2, that's going to be 8, and that's going to be 1. So now Just not get tripped up or anything like that. Don't panic or anything if you're not really understanding it, because there's always that link that you can get in touch with me, mhoward@lintonhall.edu, if you have any questions. Now, with the Quizlet page that I told you guys about, if you go to the Quizlet page, again, you should have received the email by now. All you have to do is, if it is a link, click on the link. If it's not a link, then basically take that, put it in your web browser, and you should come to my page, and it should have again, sets or assignments. Should have assignments that you guys should do. Again, practice that, work on that, go through the word problems, and we'll talk about the word problems tomorrow. Because once I come in and have the Quizlet page done, or once you guys have the Quizlet page done, then we can talk about the word problems tomorrow. And I'll also have some problems that I think that we're going to probably see on the test. I mean, the test is coming up on Thursday, about 12 problems, nothing out of the ordinary. But again, too, the one thing I just really want you guys to constantly remember, and we talked about this in class, the big thing is, I'm going to leave that up for a second. We're going to erase mom, dad, and sister and brother. The big thing is that, again, we really, I cannot emphasize enough. What does this mean? Yes, we know that's an equal sign. What does it say about this side and this side? Those two sides have got to be the same. They've got to equal the same. They have the same value. If I had a 3 over there, if I had the 3, and I'm going to get some different color markers tomorrow so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. But if I had a 3 on this side, and then I had 3 sticks on this side, that's a little stick, that's a little stick, and that's a little stick. I had 3 sticks on that side. What is that telling me right here? This right here is telling me that the value on each side is the same. The value on each side is 3. One's a number. One is 3 sticks, or 3 strips of bacon, whichever one you guys think that looks like. But that's basically what that is. So again, we got to remember that if something is on this side, it's got to equal. The value's got to equal, and it's got to be the same on the other side. So that's something that we're going to really talk about, because I think that that's what throws people off once we start getting into the test and we get into word problems. You might see something, you might see an object, and basically I want you guys to truly understand that that object doesn't mean anything. It's just basically what is it on one side and what is it on the other side that is asking me. Because a good example, let's just say it's a house times another house. House times another house equals, and we come out here and we say it equals 9. Now, again, if I said a house times another house equals 9, then you guys might look at it like, I don't get it, I don't understand. I know there's some people probably like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Well, why doesn't it make sense? It doesn't make sense because we've got no idea what in the world this is. But if we think about this, if we said blank times blank equals 9, oh, I get it. Yes, I know. Yeah, no, see, I'm starting to, Andrew, you got that, right? Andrew's got that. Thomas, I know you already had that. And Audrey, yes, we know that you got it from the beginning. Probably, I think maybe you're getting it now. But we said blank times blank equals 9. What times what equals 9? I know that 9 times 1 equals 9, right? Or 1 times 9 equals 9. But think about this. These are the same, well, they're the same exact things. They're house. It's a house. You understand what I'm saying? It's a house. So it's like it is the same thing. So could this possibly be a 9 and a 1? No, because those don't even look the same. But think about this. Three times 3 equals 9. Why 3? because these two are the same. 3 times 3 equals 9. So, if we did that, and here's the tricky part, stay with me here. If we said 6 times one of those lovely homes, and you guys saw that my art degree is paying off here, or at least my time at art school is paying off. If you got something that said 6 times a house equals what? Well, what's the value of the house? Truthfully, the value of a house right now is probably about $400,000-$500,000, but in our world, it's 3. So the value of the house is 3. Then that means that this answer must be what? If we really broke this down and we said 6 times 3, why 3, Lily? Because 3 is the value of the house. 6 times 3 must equal what? 18. So, as they like to say in our book, so that must mean that 6 times a house equals 18. Just a little teaser about some of the stuff that we're going to be looking at. But again, too, if you definitely don't understand this, yeah, contact me about that. But this is what I'm just trying to tell you, too. It starts back to remember that both sides have to be the same. And it's just something where don't look at it as saying, oh my goodness, this is extremely hard. No, just take a look and see exactly what is it saying. But that's our lesson for today. Long division, everything must be the same on each side. Word problems, and test is on Thursday. And again, if you watch the social studies video before this, again, I'm still looking for the capital of the state of Florida. And also too, we got some fun things that we're going to actually come in and do with you guys too. I don't remember because I don't have it in front of me. If you guys have the Spirit Week that we tried to put out, if you guys did that, go ahead and send me a picture of what you got and what's going on with you. And again, hopefully everybody's doing well and being safe. And I will be with you tomorrow with math. And again, we're going to just keep doing this until we got to do this. Everybody stay safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.